Hello, welcome to the Greenwing Wealth Management Podcast, Feeling Elfish. This is episode 1, and with me today, I have Aubrey Lane. And so, I'd kind of like to jump right into it because I told you I wanted to do this podcast, and I asked you who I should interview based on what I was looking to create, and you, without hesitation, that's good. I like it. I like that confidence. That's good. And so, I thought a good place to start would be often people meet me and hear about the crazy stuff that we do in the company and are shocked to find out that you are a real person. So if you want to tell people, I guess, like just how joyous it is to be married to me, or I don't know, however you want to positively praise. No, I'm just kidding, just kidding. But what is it like being married to a borderline unstable person who dresses up a lot?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I roll my eyes a lot.
Speechless is what I took out of
Yeah,
that so far.
I roll
Leave her speechless.
a lot. People wonder where Austin gets his genius from, and really, it's just me.
Okay, all right.
And
This podcast is already off the rails.
before, I am the funny one.
This didn't take long at all to really spiral. Okay. All right. No. Fun is fun. It's important to have fun,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I'm glad we're able to rub off on each other, me on you more so. But this is this is good. No. Well, part of the heart of the podcast is so feeling elfish. Let me explain the name. So as a financial advisor, there's a lot of stress that goes into my job. And it's important to have an outlet for that. And I feel like being whimsical, having fun, just doing things that would cut the tension that otherwise exists. And so first year in business, we did actually Aubrey's in the video too. We did a video where I was a financial planning elf, and that has just taken off and become a whole thing. Every December, I'm just wearing that elf suit all year long. And just kind of had an unintended consequence, but it's a way to tether me into just remembering why you do it, doing something that has, that's fun, that's not directly related to, the actual competency of managing money or investing. And so it's important to do things like that, just to be fun, be whimsical. And so the heart of this is talking to people who are doing things, who are taking risks, who are trying to really just take ownership of what they're doing in their life and how they power through. So I don't know if I've told you this as much as I should.
Oh,
I'm
no.
very proud of you so Aubrey stays home with our 4 daughters. So we have 4 daughters, ages 12 through 5. And so we're getting tears. Sorry. It's hard.
You're
I'm crying. I'm just so emotional. So there's so many women in this house. I just get so emotional. Anyway, so
you don't cry.
around the time I founded Greenwing Wealth Management, Aubrey started homeschooling. I don't remember when that was. What year was that we started?
It was January of 2022. We started homeschooling like 6 months after you decided to start your own business.
Why not?
Why not?
Just all of us.
Do it all at once.
Caution to the wind.
Yeah.
And so I actually feel like that's extraordinarily entrepreneurial. You essentially are trying to provide the entire schooling kind of apparatus or, that the kids often would experience in a more traditional education. So, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot you do. It's a lot that falls on you. So how is it?
Thank you.
How's it going? I know your kids are,
My kids.
I don't want to say feral.
My
That's not
kids
the
are
right
very-
word,
Yeah,
but
your kids, on the other hand, are just angels.
I think, well, no, they're kids, right? They're kids, right? So how are your students?
Yeah. So I mean, it ranges daily. The outcome of each day is different depending on their attitudes and how they slept and how I slept. But yeah, I mean, it's not without its struggles to homeschool, and you see that obviously better than anybody. But I think the price that we pay in the struggles, hopefully one day we will reap the reward of that. But yeah.
Hopefully is a big word there. So which one's your favorite student, would you say?
Well, he's about 38.
Okay. That's good. See, that's good. She is. That was good. I guess maybe on the count of 3, maybe we both say our favorite kid and we just start there. So 1, 2, 3. I thought I'd get her. I thought I'd get you there. That's all right. Well, what's it like? I mean, the dynamic of the mom and the teacher, that's got to be challenging, right? I mean,
I think, yeah, the girls definitely, I mean, they come to me with every little question under the sun, which is great. And sometimes, just maybe ask dad once in a while.
what do they say if you're like, hey, go ask dad? What do they say to that?
He's mean. I just tease you.
I don't know if you are. That might be true.
On occasions, snack, they're like, nah, we're not going to have insight on. Austin loves to come home and say, "What'd you learn today?" And so when we're doing school, it's a lot of pressure on the girls because sometimes they're like, "Oh my gosh, what did I learn today?" They
One thing.
panic. So
He only wants to hear one little thing.
during school, they're like, "Oh, I'm going to tell Dad I learned this." And of course, that's the day that he doesn't ask.
They should
What did you
sandbag
learn
it. They got to
today?
learn the art
So
of sandbagging.
yeah, they got to start storing them up.
So what do you do though? Like kids they wear you down a little bit. They're great. We all love kids, blah, 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 blah. We all love our kid. We're very blessed. All right. All right. It's true. That's all true. But they wear you down a little bit. They wear me down a little bit. I'll speak for myself. So what do you do to like find a more constructive outlet when you just are like, I don't want to say wit's end, but
I mean, it's a great question. Community is a big part of that. Without our homeschool community, I don't think we could do it. It would be very isolating and just impossible, really. But for me, myself, when I'm at my wit's end, having that outlet to kind of take a break somewhere, or at least another friend who has the similar circumstances as you. So community is definitely up on that list. I have lots of friends that I could not do it without. So
what is that homeschool community? So do you mind just explaining that a little bit? Because I don't know, when we were, we were kids, homeschooling, I think looked a lot different than today. So if you don't mind, just kind of explain.
I think growing up, there was the vision of homeschooling was very isolating. Like those kids maybe didn't get out as much, or, they lived further out of town and on a farm. Nowadays,
Yeah.
in the mountains. And so nowadays, the homeschool communities are literally everywhere and the resources are endless. And so here we were a part of a co-op that has about 30 families, and the moms all lead a class every Friday, and the kids have their own age groups. So they get that socialization aspect that people are so afraid your kids are not going to get when you decide to homeschool. And yeah, it's just been a blessing to us and our family, and the families there have similar values and beliefs as we do. And so raising our children's alongside those, I think, make it a lot easier, because when issues do arise, which they will, whether it's with a peer or just in general, you at least have families that are going to stand together and listen to you and support you and that. So yeah.
Yeah, I wonder because so I'm gone pretty much all day
Mhm.
throughout the week.
Mhm.
I got to say, for like homeschooling, it seems like there's a lot of practical application, a lot of practical education that happens. Like you guys go to things a lot more. Like I remember when I was a kid, field trip days were like, that's what you live for. You're like, you're psyched. Our field trip is in 9 months
Our
from
children are field trip overloaded.
now. You're saying our kids, right? Yeah, they don't.
They don't even appreciate field trips anymore, because if we're not going to SeaWorld or, doing some kind of special outing, what are we doing today? We're going to be home. What? It's the end of the world.
I know.
So, yeah, they are definitely
These kids are living the dream.
spoiled for sure in that front. Yeah.
And you guys, I mean, I don't even know, where do we have, you guys go to the Whitty often, right? You go to the Whitty a little bit?
Whitty, we did the botanical gardens. We usually alternate where we like to spend our membership every year, but those are some good ones. SeaWorld, obviously. Not much education going on there, but lots of fun.
Yeah, it's fun. So what about, this network of moms you guys kind of all bond with, like, do you find that a lot of the challenges are all very shared, like very common?
I mean, everybody has their own family dynamic, but I would say that at least you're just doing homeschooling together, and then having teaching different. I mean, I've taught grades from kinder to 7th already, and I've only homeschooled for 4 years. So I've taught 7 years worth in 4 years. And I feel like other families have that same experience. Homeschool families tend to have more kids, so you tend to teach. And that statistic I have found is true. We have 4, and that's about the average of our co-op that we go to, I would say. But yeah, it's having those similar, like, hey, I'm my 7th grader today, or, my kindergartner, and just having those other people that are literally doing what you're doing, and then also being able to ask, like, hey, what did you do when your kids started going to high school? How did you, like, having that wisdom go before you? What did your college transcripts look like? And we have friends that have kids that have applied to colleges and gotten accepted, and so having that in our community as well has been very helpful.
Kind of visualize that pathway to next steps.
Absolutely. You need those friends that'll be with you and go before you and come after you and all the things. So
Yeah. What would you say? 'Cause gosh, I'm I mean, you have quite a few, like this our network is a lot of people that homeschool, some variety of that can look very different to each family. Some, these ones to homeschool, this one goes to school, this one
Yeah.
goes to charter, whatever that
Yeah.
looks like.
Mhm.
What would you say is the most challenging part of homeschool life?
The most challenging part. I
Is it
mean,
the
just having to,
conference?
yeah, the principal's real tough around our home. It's,
Good. That's good.
no, yeah, and he does request parent-teacher conference quite frequently
What's going
if they're
on?
not learning daily.
I'll tell you, I come home and I ask, what'd you guys learn today? And if there's a lot of blank
It's the
stares,
parent-teacher
what are we doing out
conference.
here? No, it's good. Sorry, go ahead.
What was the question?
What is the hardest part you think
Okay,
of?
the hardest part. I mean, I think just, being one man and having 4 kids wanting to learn from you and having that on your shoulders. I mean, I'm not just doing it on my own, which is great, but that is definitely the challenging part of it all is I'm only one person and I can't go be in 4 places at once. I can't teach 7th grade algebra and kindergarten ABCs at the same exact time. I can do it in the same day, but it just gets to be, you know, a lot of different poles in a lot of different directions sometimes.
We're just so different. People talk about this all the time. Obviously, we spend our whole lives together and with the girls, but like, I'm out networking all the time or meeting with clients or whatever.
Mm.
And so I forget, like they don't, they don't see kind of front row into our lives. And I just like, they're just so different. They're sisters. So there's a lot of, there's a lot of commonality,
Mm-hmm.
but they're just the way that they learn. Like, I think that's so even
It is
interactive.
wild because we had one that literally she can pick up a book, read it, and remember it. And then we
Right.
have one she could read the same book 10 times and not remember it. It's challenging for sure. And
And I find it depends on how you measure them too. Cause like what one is good at, like the one who maybe doesn't like reading as much, like, but she's so good at other things. Like her just strengths are,
for
it's
sure,
hard to
she's
like,
much more gentle, kind, like those kind of
right.
attributes that will last long in life. I mean, intelligence isn't everything. Obviously, you want your kids to be smart
Are
and
you
you want them
calling
to
one
be
of them
able.
not intelligent? No, I just want
No,
to clarify.
I'm just
Okay.
saying, growing up,
Sorry.
you and I grew up very differently. You are probably more like our daughter who can read anything and learn it and retain it.
Not caring? That's what it feels
And
like.
I'm probably more like the daughter that has more of those, social, personal.
Sure. The EIQ is EIQ is in my opinion, EIQ is maybe the biggest indicator of success in life, like is relational human beings.
I think
She's
that's great
very
about
high.
homeschool is that we get
Yeah.
to teach them other things besides just books. We get to teach them how to have social skills. I mean, we get compliments a lot that our kids can talk to adults.
Oh, they'll talk to you. They got a lot to say.
Without feeling, like nervous
They got
or like
so much to say.
not that, you don't want them to overstep their boundaries.
Oh, they
Sometimes you're
do.
like, talk less, obviously. But I think
Don't ask
those
people if they're
attributes.
pregnant. Don't ask women if they're
Well,
pregnant.
they don't do that. When they
Well,
were 5 and under, they did that
worst
frequently.
case
It
scenario.
was not grand.
Oof.
But yeah,
Sorry.
luckily we have
So good.
kind people in our lives. Forgive them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If you could go back, you've done this 3, 4 years. What year is it? 2026?
I'll be ending my 4.5 years
My
of
gosh.
homeschooling.
Where does time go? So if you go back, what might you do differently? Would you have started sooner? So again, a little background. Our girls were in public school until COVID. And so depending on COVID, gosh, COVID is such a watershed moment for this generation. Everybody who's been alive during this time, it just
Your daughter
redefined much of the way.
during COVID.
Right. We had Reagan, our fourth daughter, was born in the middle of COVID. And so it was just so chaotic. And so I think depending on where you were in life, the stage of life during that outbreak and the aftermath, very much defined how you proceeded from there. And so for us, we did have our kids in public school here in where we live in kind of the San Antonio area.
The teachers there and the community, and
We talked about homeschooling, but I don't think like I don't know.
it was something that was always on my heart, and I felt like finally just with COVID, because that parents were not in the school anymore, that what we loved about our little small town and the school that we were going to was kind of taken away from us, that we were forced into kind of homeschooling, which ended up being, where we are and decided to stay now that
Right.
things have shifted back more to normal life. But yeah.
So do you think that, here's an interesting question. Do you think that we would have eventually done homeschooling if not for COVID?
I don't know. You can't say. I mean, I feel like in those early years, we had 3 and under. And so when our oldest went
Blacked
to
out.
school,
I don't even remember that.
I still had 2 at home, and then this guy decided it would be great to have a
Oh,
but
I'll tell you why, because everybody, and you're watching this now. You earlier, you were like, "Are you going to try for a boy?"
we
And
don't want a
We
boy.
tried. I tried so many times, you guys. Anyway, but they're all great. It's
No,
a lot of girls.
it's great.
I would say it's
They're
the most amount
angels.
of girls you'd want. It's
4? Well, we have a friend that has 5. So
I stand by what I just said. I think four is a lot of. It's a lot of girls are great. It's just it's a. I would say the same thing for boys. If you have 4 boys, that's just a lot of boys, man. That's a lot of.
I have a friend that has 4 boys.
Oh, it's a lot.
Yeah, but what was the would we have eventually
Yeah, I'm just curious. What
homeschooled,
do you think?
or would I have
Totally
changed
hypothetical.
anything about it?
Like, do you wish you started homeschooling?
I really
before?
don't, because I don't think I could have had the capacity for it.
It's too many kids.
It was just too much, and it was nice having that one. She did learn to read, and then I taught the other 3, going on 3, to read, and so having that taken care of, and I mean, there's just so many different pathways you can choose. You can choose to send them to a certain point. You can change. There's so many hybrids nowadays.
Right.
You can go 2 days a week. You can go, but I don't think I would have changed anything. I think I'm very happy that I'm homeschooling, and I have homeschooled the youngest all the way through. And I'm very glad that my older 2 got to go for a short period of time, because that's just what we needed in that phase of life. And I think that's great. I can't say from now and 5 years from now, we'll still be homeschooling or not. I mean, it's year by year, really.
Yeah.
And I do say, if you don't shape up, I'm sending you back on the daily. But then the girls are like, Mom, would you really? And I was like, don't worry about that.
Would you really?
Don't worry. Just shape up.
Your dad would. I'll tell you that right now.
You could be sitting in the classroom for 8 hours, 5 days a week.
We're already paying taxes for it, frankly. All right, But home is like, they get to, again, there's so much practical. We haven't even talked about the chickens and the animals and the stuff. We live on a couple acres, and so we have other things to do. Like, raising chickens is fun for them, I
It's
think.
great. We've been wanting to get into 4-H. We have not yet.
Yeah.
We need to, I don't know. We'll see. Another mouth to feed.
Another mouth to feed. At least the chickens pay rent, and they're pretty cool.
It's true.
I do like the chickens.
They're pretty fun.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Well, what else about, anything else about, that's kind of a generic question. Anything else about homeschooling, or anything else about?
I mean, there's just, you get different opportunities. Like, one of our daughters does year-round swim. And so we get to do that during the day instead of eating up at our evening hours, which is nice. I think that's a blessing, having our evenings free-ish, although now we're entering a season of where we also have soccer and, other things that aren't always during the day. But there are actually so many different resources. If you do sports, there probably is a homeschool where you could do that during the day instead of taking away your evenings, and then fit school around that, obviously. But yeah, that's just something else maybe people don't realize. But
What about, so here's kind of an interesting question, I think. So since you were the primary educator for them, like, and have been now for all, you're doing great, hopefully. And,
TBD.
and what would you say? Like, hey, Mom, should I go to college?
I think that'd be a dad question.
Okay, solid deflection. I respect that. Your dad and I work as a team. I think you should ask him first. That's good. I like that.
I mean, I think each kid is different. You don't have to go to college.
I agree.
I don't think it's something that's a necessity nowadays as much as people might think it is. I mean, I think it's great to say I went to so-and-so and I got a degree from here, but I don't think it's a necessity.
Right.
What would you say?
I would say, I was just talking about this the other day, and I don't want to spoil it because this kind of falls into my professional purview. And so if you want to talk about it more, you got to reach out, I think. But I think that what I have seen just generationally is that is the first big decision that a child makes. And I think that spoon feeding them or projecting on them an expectation, especially if it carries the cost of a 6-figure, $100,000.
Yeah.
Like, I think that is a decision the kids need to be able to do real analysis to see if what their degree and what their pursuit is actually, first of all, providing value enough back to society to actually justify that investment of their time and expertise. And then also, is it worth the cost? Because I do think, this is going to be a hot take, but I think education is looking more like a business in many regards than it is an actual institution based on educating. That's harsh. Again, maybe people won't. Maybe I'll get some comments on that. Again, broad strokes there. It depends on a number of factors, but I do think that I went to San Diego State and I enjoyed my time there, but like towards the end, especially, man, it just felt like you just felt like a a mill, you're just cattle just kind of getting prodded around through the next gate to the next field. Make sure you sign up for classes, make sure you pay tuition, make sure you.
And when you graduated, were you ready for the real world?
No, I'll tell you, sure. I mean, no. I feel like it was funny. My junior year, my first finance class. So I might have got my degree in finance. My first finance class, the professor asked the lecture hall. There was like 200 of us. Who knows what finance is? Like, what does that mean? Like, what is a finance job? And not a single one of us knew. Like, had a good answer, which is crazy because we're,
Finance
20 years old at this time,
Mhm.
financial majors, and nobody knew how to answer that question. And so it prepares you in some regard, and there's great value to college and education too. I'm not anti. I'm very much just let's think through this, be intentional.
What do you want to do?
Right.
And can you go get a job right now and work your way up to that position, or do you need to go and have an education like doctors and lawyers and other?
Yeah, I mean engineers, all those.
But if you're wanting
attorneys,
to be an
right.
entrepreneur, then what can you go do and get real life experiences right now?
I think that's where the camp I fall in is. I never thought of myself as an entrepreneur until I became an entrepreneur, and now I just feel like everybody should be an entrepreneur, just because the way that it rewires the way you think about things and evaluating time and evaluating your investments. And so I'm just very pro. And so I don't know. I don't know if kids should go to college, but I do think that like the standard, let's open a basic college account and throw money in there for little Johnny and he can go where, like, I don't think that should be, I don't know. There's different ways to approach it, but I think the kids really, and if they have that money, that's good for them. It'll give them obviously more options. But I think that I would just love to see a lot of intentional conversations with 18-year-olds around the continuation of their education. What that looks like is a trade school, is a traditional college, again, which is great. San Antonio, there's some unique offerings that allow kids to go to community colleges and then a college in Bear County. I think that's it. For free, for low cost. I don't know all the specifics, but anyway, yeah, I digress. Anything else you want to talk about the kids about? They're crazy. They're kind of crazy. Should we talk about how much food they eat as a cautionary tale? I have so many bad advices. I don't know, man. I think, I'm like you. I will answer, but I'd like you to go first because I'm a little concerned about, I don't know if
Can I answer for you?
I don't want, yes, that's a great idea. Do that. Answer for me.
What your best parenting advice is?
Yes, I love that.
Probably to say, you're all right. That's your
Okay,
best
I do
parenting
say
advice.
that a
You're all
lot.
right.
You're all right. You're fine.
You're all right. Can I have a snack? You're all right.
You're all right. Self-sufficiency.
I broke my leg. You're all right.
Dust it off. All right. You know how much a deductible, let me explain a deductible to you.
Well, we don't have one. No.
Yeah.
Another topic for entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and we should do a podcast on that. I think I do think that your yes be yes and no be no. Wherever your boundaries are, those are your boundaries.
That's a good one.
You have to uphold them. You cannot allow for moving boundaries for kids. They thrive on structure.
Holding the line is easier than pushing the line back.
Yes, that's yes. Did I say that?
No, you didn't.
You still.
A friend said it to me, and I thought it was wise.
I wonder where that person heard it. Probably me on a podcast. Just kidding. It's a great line, though.
It is a good line. In hindsight, especially now that we have a 12-year-old, it's like, man, what should we have done? There's always hindsight. But then it's like, okay, now we got a 5-year-old. Don't mess that one up. But then she's so cute.
She's so cute. Oh my gosh, I love her. Yeah. She plays it up.
It's a different ball game. They're all so different. And one listens to your no, and the other one does not.
They just make it's weird, like my reaction to them, Yeah. I've done, like, one of my favorite parenting things is when Aubrey would, like, if she'd ever leave for a weekend or whatever. I know, but not on this podcast. This is great. You're welcome to take this. So kids is one of the things that my pet peeves about kids is they graze. They graze all day, and it drives me insane. Like, eat meals and move on with your life, But instead, every 3 minutes for the rest of your life, can I have a snack? Can I have a snack? Can I have a Anyway, it drives me crazy. And so what I find is, like, and every parent I think is going to relate to this. You make them food, you sit them down at the table, you go away, they've eaten nothing. They've sat in a chair in 46 different positions. Somehow they're on the floor under the table playing with a cat that's not ours. They've let a cat in the house that we don't even know where it came from. And you're just like, how did you've done a million things other than eat food, which is confusing to me because all you ask for all day is food. And now it seems like that's the only thing you're uninterested in. It's very perplexing for me. So to encourage eating, what I do is
I don't think it's eating. I think timely eating because our children.
yeah, our kid, people don't know this, sidebar. People, like, I don't know what other people's kids eat. I think you could push back on this. I think each of our girls, maybe with the exception of our last one, eats more calories a day than me.
Yeah.
And I just so you know, I'm like 260 pounds. Like I'm not small. I'm telling you, these little girls, they
Eat a
put it
lot.
away.
They eat a lot. They eat a lot.
And it's healthy. It's so annoying.
They-
Healthy food is so expensive. Like, can I interest you in a Pop-Tart? It's exhausting. So this is why I need more clients. So if you're watching, no, just kidding.
Feed our children.
But what I like to do is I'll put their food down. I'll set a timer for like 10 minutes and I'll put a Reese's peanut butter cup at the top of their plate. And I'll say,
honestly, now that you're listening to this, you're going to be like, Austin, you're the problem.
play for keeps. I'm trying to raise.
Problem because then that's why they eat so fast and so much.
I don't know if they eat fast. I mean, they do eat a lot. Here, let me just,
problem.
Reese's peanut butter cup, top of the plate. Set a timer. And I tell them, I'm very polite. I look them in their eyes and say, hey, honey, I made you this food.
Okay, very polite.
I really want this food to be nourishment to you because I love you. And they say, thanks, Dad. We love you too.
Okay.
Some of that was embellished. Anyway, but I set a timer. I'm like, listen, you finish your food in time. That's your Reese's peanut butter cup. You do whatever they want. You can save it. You can eat it. You can eat half now. It's yours. I don't care. You do whatever you want. If you don't eat it, I'm going to eat it while maintaining eye contact with you. And if you cry, that's only gonna fire me up more. All right. So
that's his true colors.
No, but like you gotta incentivize them. And I'll tell you what though, they all eat in time. I've not had to have any Reese's peanut butter cups. It's a win-win. I get the calories out of the house and they eat like respectable human beings that are actually sitting down to have a meal. It's a win-win. So follow me for more parenting tips. But
Not.
yeah, I just, kids, they're full of, you know what I mean? They're just, they're great. There's a lot of life in kids. And I appreciate you really carrying the load and raising them because
carrying the load and raising them.
I couldn't. As you're probably realizing as the audience, not suited for this. And you are correct.
Not suited for homeschooling, but honestly, nobody's suited for, or we all are. We just don't know that we are. I think that's say it. We all are suited for it. We just don't know.
I don't know.
People tell me all the time, I could never. And I'm like, you probably could. You just don't know.
You probably could.
You probably could. You just don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, any last words of wisdom or sage advice?
Oh, thanks for having me on.
But it was actually very hard to get through. You're very pretty, and I found it very distracting.
Gosh.
So I don't want to be unprofessional across the boundaries here, but it was very distracting.
It's ridiculous.
So anyway, thank you for joining us, and look out for more podcasts in the future. Thank you.